We will now move on to Smart by GP, where we will cover the source to contract activities in the new platform. We are implementing a new procurement platform called Smart by GP, which will enhance your experience working with us as your partner. Some of these benefits include centralized bid submission, seamless tender clarification, quick view of contractual documents, streamlined invoice submission, as well as transparent procurement transaction. Let's take a quick look at the new Smart by GEP platform. The homepage in Smart is simplified and compact with only these three main functions, making navigation much more intuitive. ITB, or known as RFX, is sent online and kept in a central repository within Smart for you to easily view at any time. All bid submission will be done online through Smart and will require only soft copy documentation, reducing administrative efforts and costs. There will be also a dedicated discussion forum where you can communicate with the buyer regarding the tender. So inside here, if let's say you have any queries or you want to ask something or requirement inside the tender that you don't understand, then you can easily communicate with the buyer inside Smart. So all the responses will be kept directly in one central place. Now I will share what will be your experience using Smart by GEP. For all tender initiated in Smart, you will be able to use some of the function in the new platform until the full go live in Q3, Q4 2020. This includes account activation, supplier profile, approval and update, artifact response, tender clarification, commercial resubmission, as well as LOA acceptance. So there's two major process here. One is on updating or accessing Smart and updating your supplier profile. And number 3, 4, 5, and 6 is more or less on the tender requirements. We start off with the first step, account activation. A system-generated email containing artifacts and registration instruction will be sent to all of you. And starting 15 June, all of you will receive the notification email to create your Smart account. So if let's say you are already have a Smart account, then you can click here. And if let's say you are a new user to Smart, you can click this button for you to create your account. And then after you click that button, you will see the primary registration form, right? This is just a one-page form for you to fill out all the relevant information. And then if let's say you want to grant additional access to Smart, so there's a section called secondary contact information. You can add additional information here. So after you fill out all this information, just click submit. After creating your account, you will receive an account activation email, similar like this. So simply click on the link in the email, and then you will be redirected to Smart by GP login page. So you just enter using your created username and password and click on login. For those who already have an existing Smart account with another company, when you log in, you will be prompted to select which company you would like to view into. So if let's say you want to view artifacts from Petronas, you just click Petronas. If let's say you want to view a tender from a different company that use Smart, you can click on that company name and click on submit. Upon successful login, the Smart by GP user homepage will appear. Right? So like I mentioned before, you will see 3 different buttons here: task, manage, create. So the next step is to update your supplier profile. This module is mostly applicable to new suppliers who have just become Petronas supplier. For new supplier, the supplier profile can be completed at any time, but it is required to be updated in order for you to be eligible for any artifacts award and to receive purchase orders from Petronas. However, for most of you who are existing Petronas licensed registration supplier, your supplier profile will be automatically migrated into Smart. So you only need to confirm and verify that your supplier profile is approved and you are good to go. However, I will walk you through on this supply profile step to help you familiarize with the navigation to the supply profile. So to navigate the supply profile, just click on the button at the bottom right here, and then you will be redirected to your supply profile. So in your supply profile, you will need to ensure all the sections are completed before submitting for any approval. Completed section will be marked green, while red indicates the section requires further input or amendment. So if you see here, there's one section marked as red, then you just click on this button. It will direct you to that section and you can make changes to that. So for more information on how to navigate on what are the information available inside this inside the supply profile, you can look through in the user guide in the vendor announcement portal. So once everything has been completed, you just simply click save and submit, and data quality check will be performed automatically by the system. So if let's say there is any errors, let's say your payment terms is not filled up, so you just amend those information before you click save and submit again. But if let's say there is no other error message appear on this page, then your application will be submitted for approval. After your supply profile has been approved, you can still make changes by creating a change request. This is done in the supply profile. So when you log into your profile, you just click on the supply profile again, and then there's a button called create change request. So any changes you want to make to your supplier profile, let's say you want to add a new ordering location, right, or new bank details, you just click on create change request and do those click yes, the confirmation box here, and proceed with the changes. Then after that, submit to us for the approval. Once your account and supply profile has been sorted, you may begin responding to the RFX whenever that you get the invitation, of course. So the first step to participating in the tender is to accept the guidelines. This was previously known as acceptance of invitation to bid. To start, click on task and select the RFX that needs to be responded to. So after you click on that RFX, these are the RFX detail screen. Here you will need to review all the guidelines, and after you review the guidelines, you want to accept or you want to declare your participation with the tender. You just tick here on the guideline and then click on accept guideline. Alternatively, you may choose to decline the invitation if in the event that you see the scope, you don't really provide that kind of material or services, then you can decline the invitation by clicking the decline invitation button. If after decline, you decided you want to again participate in the RFX, then you can click on the dotted icon on the top right and then click on accept invitation to re-participate in the RFX. After reviewing and accepting the tender guidelines, supplier will be required to provide their responses to the tender requirement. Each tender requirements may vary, but the typical section included are as follows: the team members, the contract terms, questionnaire, price sheets, and attachment. Okay, so for in the team member section, you may add current contacts from your company to be part of this tender. So if let's say you have a team of 3 people working on the same tender, you can create their own email ID and password so that they can access Smart and access the tender as as team members for your company. So there's 4 different user roles inside Artifact's team members. Number 1 is the primary responder. He is the main focal person for this tender. Number 2 is collaborator. So a team member who is able to review and make edits to the artifacts. Number 3 is the viewer. He or she able to view, but he cannot make any changes, any editing in the submission. And number 4 is no access. In the contract term section, you may accept or modify the contract term. Start by clicking on the terms and condition to review them. From here, if you wish to make any changes to the terms and condition, check out the document to add your notes. Here, when you click on general terms and condition, you will see the checkout button here. So you just click on the checkout button, add your notes, and then re-upload the same amended document by clicking upload minor version. Once done, click check-in, and then the new changes or the new version of that terms and condition will be updated in the contract terms. You also need to check the box here to confirm that you have read all the contract terms, because you will not be able to proceed if the box is not checked. Next, in the questionnaire section, you are required to respond to all questionnaire listed. It is your responsibility to ensure all answers provided are truthful and accurate, as the patronage buyers will be verifying the information provided. You can save your progress at any point of time during the questionnaire. So if, let's say, the question, you don't really know how to respond to that question, you can always come back later to respond, as long as you're still within the tender submission, tender responses time frame. So after you're done, click done to complete the questionnaire section. The next section is the price sheet section, which represents the commercial aspect of the tender. There are 2 ways for you to submit your price sheet. One is via Smart by GEP user interface, or second one is using Microsoft Excel upload. So updating via the Smart GEP user interface means you will be entering the price sheet directly within the platform. So if you see here, there is a 2 columns here that indicate you need to respond to these line items, whether you want to bid for this item or not, and what are the price per unit for this item. So you can enter one by one inside Smart directly. The other way to submit is to enter your price sheet via the Microsoft Excel sheet template. The template can be found on the top right corner of the tender page. You can download this, you can translate and download this. There's a button, something like this, download icon. You will get to download the Excel version, and then you can make the changes on the Excel. Once done, it's just simply that you need to upload this one back into Smart. So all the price sheet will be updated directly on the UI. In the attachment section, you can review and provide attachment for supplementary document. So under Supplier, you can attach document related to the artifact, such as CV, product specs, and indicate whether it is a technical or commercial related attachment. It depends on the questionnaire or requirement that has been posted in the questionnaire here. You can submit your information here. So under attachment, there's 2 items here. So for Supplier, this is the one that you can upload your document. In the buyer section, you can download any documents for your reference that our buyer have provided to you. It is compulsory to also view all the attachments prior to bid submission. So after accepting the guidelines and responding to all the required section, you can click Submit Response to officially submit your bid. If you wish to change your responses, you can do so by withdrawing your response. However, that is only available if the response timeline is still open. The next function we'll be covering is the tender clarification. Right? If you have any queries or require any clarification regarding the tender, you must do so using the discussion forum. You can access the discussion forum by clicking the chat icon at the top. There's a chat icon here in the artifact section. So you click on the item, then you will get to see the discussion forum here. You can respond directly to any messages from the buyer, and a number notification will appear in the chat icon. Next, click on the pencil icon here to start writing your query. You can also upload any attachment in your query, and then after you attach the attachment, and then click post here to submit your chat. Please note that queries will be responded by respective buyer or sourcing exec whilst being documented and contractually binding. So following your discussion with the buyer, any amendments that you would like to make to your bid needs to be done within the artifact section if the response timeline is still open. However, if the response timeline has closed, you will have to submit your bid amendments by uploading them in the discussion forum. You can do so by creating a new query, again, a new query up here, and then upload your amendment as attachment. Just click on the attachment button and click on post. So next is the commercial resubmission, which will involve the auction and negotiation process. Auction activities will be initiated by the sourcing exec, by our buyer, and notification will be sent out to you if you have been selected to participate in the auction. So to participate in the auction, simply go to your task and under action pending, select the corresponding action. You should be able to see one of the tasks here called auction for you to respond to. So once you click on the auction, review and accept the NDA and the tender, so the terms and condition of the tender. Just click here. I have read the terms and condition and click on accept. On the auction page, place your bid here. You are allowed to place your bid continuously during the auction live period, which can be observed here. Once this timer turns to zero, the auction will end. Upon success of the revised price, you will be notified and should proceed to the next step of resubmitting your price sheet. If the buyer has to negotiate the commercial response, you will need to resubmit your price sheet. This also applies if you were successful during the auction process. To resubmit your new price, click Task and select the tender you wish to respond to. So it should be the same tender that you have previously participated. So in the price sheet section, click the View Feedback link. You will then have to enter the revised price in the specified column. So all of you will be notified on the color definition and the revised price requirement by Petronas. So please observe all the description provided, instruction provided by the buyer, because tender from tender, the requirement may vary. After you have updated all of this information, you just simply have to click done here. Lastly, we have reached the letter of award stage. If you are the winning bidder of the tender, you will receive an email notifying you of the letter of award. The buyer or author will then post topic in discussion forum for you to perform the LOA acceptance. So upon receipt of the LOA documents, you are required to respond to the topic, acknowledging and indicating your acceptance to the LOA. So you just respond that yes, we accept the LOA, we acknowledge the LOA, and then click on post here. That basically concludes our Smart by GEP walkthrough today. Here are some Smart by GEP do's and don'ts that you should observe.